He is the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, and he is joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show. Sam Darnold is here. Good to see you, Sam. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing, Rich?
I am doing fine. Look at you in the Seattle Seahawks colors. It really is amazing to see, to be honest, Sam. Didn't see this coming for you. How's it been for you to be in a new digs again, but the manner in which you are walking into your situation, Sam?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been unbelievable just, stepping in the building. Ever since I got here, it's felt like home. And the reception that I got from players, coaches, everybody top down, it's been unbelievable and just so excited to be here.
And to basically have this is your team, and it's yours to quarterback. It is yours to lead. And I'm wondering how that feels for you, Sam.
Yeah, I think for me, it's nothing really changes. That's kind of the mindset I had going into last year and years prior as well. But I think the biggest thing for me is just making sure that, I take it one day at a time. Don't get too far ahead of myself or, worry about, what would happen this year if this happens, or, you get into kind of all those things. And I think for me, it really is about just taking it one day at a time and going from there.
And just the opportunity, I guess, is what I'm saying, and making reference to your journey, how you were drafted in the league, and then how you were traded to another team, and then how you wound up in San Francisco, and then your opportunity that you got in Minnesota, and how you burst the door down. And I'm just wondering, what did you learn last year about quarterbacking that potentially unlocked your potential in such a manner in Minnesota, Sam?
Yeah, I think I can't point to one thing, right? I think it's like a accumulation of, everything that I've learned in the NFL, and even going back to, being in New York and being in Carolina, at some points when I struggled, like I learned through all those moments. And, even going back to my times in San Fran too, going to, what I learned with Kyle, obviously Clint Kubiak was on that staff as well, but his brother Clay, Brian Greasy, Brock, just all the people that were in that building helped me out a ton. Just learning how to, continue to be a professional and just learn the system and understand, good football, and bringing that, all the way to Minnesota, and doing my best. Like I just said, man, just doing everything I could to understand the playbook, better understand defenses, and kind of what, at the end of the day, like the intention of every single play. There's an intention with every play that's called, and I think being on the same page with Kevin O'Connell, pretty much every single play that he called last year was a huge key in that. So I think just continuing to have that dialogue back and forth with the person calling plays, and like I mentioned, Clint Kubiak, we've already had so many conversations about, certain plays and what we're kind of thinking when we're calling them against what defenses. So it's been great so far here. And but again, I don't know if I answered your question, but I can't really point to one thing that, really helped me a ton to be able to be where I am today. But I would just say it's the long journey, and every single step along the way helped me out to get to this point.
Well, and if I could pinpoint a moment and ask you what it was like, and again, we will get to the current day here from last year. It was you taking care of the Packers in the second time that you faced them, and then you go back to your locker room and the welcome you received. This photograph right here, man, like this, I saw this, and I was just wondering what was going through your skull. It looked like this was like years in the making, not to be too dramatic, but I'm just wondering, what was this moment like for you, Sam?
No, it was special. Definitely was not expecting that reception at all. But just the special, group that we had last year, it was just a special team to be a part of. Even from the beginning, people not necessarily thinking we were going to be a great team. And for us to just be able to, like I continue to mention, like we took it one day at a time, and that was really the theme of last year. And that's kind of been my theme throughout my entire journey. But yeah, to have that reception at the end of the game, and it was a special moment, something I'll never forget.
And you're taking the reins there, Sam Darnold, in Seattle from a guy who in Geno Smith. who took a while to get his opportunity after being drafted by the Jets. I don't know if that sounds familiar to you, but
Yeah.
but he famously also said that many people wrote him off, but he never wrote back, and that's a line that he said. What's your 2 cents on how long a quarterback should get to prove himself in the National Football League from your perspective? What's your philosophy on that, Sam?
I think everybody's different. First of all, that's an unbelievable line by Gino. I don't have that in me. But, I'm not going to give you any one-liners that'll, you'll put it up on a bulletin board anywhere. But no, it's just I think everybody's different. Every situation's different. Every team is different. Every coaching staff is different. There's so many different things that go into playing this position specifically, but this game as well. I mean, it's obviously 22 guys on the field and 11 guys that 10 guys really on your side of the ball that you have to be able to trust with, everything that they do. And, and coaches and players got to be, in tune with kind of what we're game planning for. And if a defense wants to bring a certain different, pressure, a blitz that we necessarily haven't seen before, like you got to be on the same page with those things. So there's so many different factors that go into it. But I think, as a quarterback, it really is just, the situation, kind of having a really good coaching staff. Obviously you got to have good players around you. And again, I can allude to so many times last year where our defense, saved our butts in a lot of games, as an offense. And, for us to be able to have that defense that we had last year. And I know we have a great defense here in Seattle. And so there's obviously, a lot of factors that go into playing good quarterback. And, but I think the biggest thing, that kind of changed my mindset was first and second down. Just understanding kind of when a play is over, when I might need to throw it away, when I might need to scramble. And I think just being safe with the football on first and second down, even third down as well. But really all situations, just having a better understanding of the situation, and kind of going from there.
Yeah, I mean, to heck with it. I'll just come straight through the door. I mean, you're going to see Baker Mayfield, who was drafted 2 spots in front of you in week 5. I asked him that question once upon a time. He said anywhere between 5 to 6 years. Jared Goff, who you obviously competed against last year, he said the same thing. And we're already talking about reps for rookies in training camp right now who are just drafted, right? And second-year players and third-year players and whether they're, going to get another contract and things like that. And it just seems that things are rushed a little bit too much these days for drafted players at the position, Sam.
Yeah. I think, for sure. I think, there's a timeline to everything. You have guys like myself, Gino, that, learn a lot throughout their career and play better in their later years. Same thing as Baker, Jared, but also, you have guys like CJ Stroud who just go out there, ball out. And also Jaden Daniels, like there's so many different situations around the league that you can point to that are so different. And I think that's kind of what I'm getting at is, you can see the talent, just meeting someone. I feel like you can get a sense of kind of their, how their brain works a little bit. Are they personable? Can they hang in a room with a bunch of different, people? And I think that goes a long way as well. So, I do believe that it can take some time, especially, in college. These offenses that colleges are running now are a little bit different than some of the offenses that we're running here in the NFL. And so I think there definitely is a learning curve when you get to the league for sure.
Couple minutes left here with Sam Darnold, the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about the here and now. What's it like to throw to Cooper Kupp if you've done so already? Sam, what's that been like for you?
Yeah, Coop's amazing. He's, the way he moves is very unique. I think being able to get a ton of reps with him and just see how he kind of gets in and out of routes is, like I said, it's different. But that's what's made him such a great player is, just the way that, he can make certain routes look the same and he ends up in a completely different spot. It's very unique, and he is different that way. And so I think, just being able to get those reps with him has been amazing. Being able to find the timing with that has been incredible because there's a lot of routes, as you guys know, like you got to be able to throw it before he gets out of a break. So there's just a lot of dialogue that has to happen there, obviously with Kupp, JSN, Marquez, like all these guys. We got a bunch of good tight ends, good running backs too. So it's been going really good though, man. Just to be able to get in the building and spend time with these guys every single day on and off the field. It's been awesome getting to know everybody.
Yeah, JSN is in Jaxon, Smith-Njigba, who had a breakout season last year to the point where your team may have been more comfortable, I guess, sending DK Metcalf onward. What's it been like to throw to that kid out of Ohio State? By the way, a fellow Big Tenner in Big Ten country. That's how things have changed.
Yeah, exactly.
For you and our football
I
world,
can't
right?
imagine. I can't imagine going to play Rutgers on a Friday night. If I was, still in school and trying to figure out my class schedule and how that'll work. But, I know they got it figured out. They got it dialed over there at USC. So it's all good. But no, man, fellow Big Tenner. JSN's also a lot easier to say than Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Indeed. So I'm just going to roll with JSN.
You got a lot of hyphenates, man. You got Valdez-Scantling. You got Smith-Njigba.
Yeah.
You got three sticks behind you and Kenneth Walker III. You got a lot going on right there.
Exactly. No, but Jax has been great. Like what I did there too. Jax, another one. He's got 4 different nicknames. It's awesome. But no, it's been great, man. He's kind of similar to Kupp that way, where he does things a little different, as do a lot of receivers, and just being able to get reps. Like I said, that's the biggest thing at this time of the year. Getting to know these guys personally, and getting to get a feel for how they're running the routes. And now we're finally going up against the defense here in phase 3, which helps a ton.
When did you know Seattle was your spot, Sam? During that whole period of March, when did that finally hit you, where you knew this is where it's going to be for you?
Yeah, it's you're kind of narrowing things down, and I'm talking to my agent, and then all of a sudden we find out that Geno's potentially getting traded. When we found that out, that was kind of like, okay, Seattle's in the mix for sure. And things just kind of happen behind the scenes, and before you know it, there's certain things moving, and it all happens so fast. You don't really know where you're going like 2 days before you sign. And all of a sudden I knew that, especially like I said, after the Geno trade happened, I felt like this could be a good place. I know Coach McDonald, had the boys rolling last year. I felt like that was a tough defense to go against when I was playing against him up in Lumen Field when I was in Minnesota last year. But McDonald's got us rolling. Obviously knowing Clint from 23 in San Francisco, that was huge as well. And then, like I said, man, all the guys, the defensive players, the offensive players that we have, the entire coaching staff really. And, you talk around the league too, like a bunch of guys talk, and Seattle is always a highly talked about place. It's just a very a good place, and you can tell that by the way that guys talk about it around the league. And so that helped a lot as well. So there were a lot of factors, but at the end of the day, it all happened so fast within a couple days, and before you knew it, I was a Seattle Seahawk.
No kidding, because from the outside, a lot of people, Sam, were thinking, okay, you and Seattle were talking, and that's when they got Geno to his former coach in Vegas, and Pete Carroll. So, but you didn't know, really, 72 hours before you went to Seattle, it really was up in the air for you, free agency style for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had narrowed it down pretty good, but there's definitely a lot of discussions, and then you start to get in the contract talks. Like there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and I'm just glad that I have the team that I have.
Oh yeah.
We were able to make it work with John and the guys upstairs, so it was great.
Yeah, well, and it's just a great spot to be. I'm so happy for you, man. It's a great situation for you, and things are set up, and it's a testament to hard work. Really is, Sam. I mean, just keep your head down, keep going, and you get an opportunity, and you knock the door down. And I wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate it, Rich.
Truly.
You're the best, man.
You got it. Same to you. And, you look at the schedule, Sam, you're going to see a lot of old famed places. You got the Niners to kick it off, and then you got the Vikings are on your schedule as well. the Buccaneers. You're going to see an old draft friend back in the day, as I mentioned. My gosh, it's really
a lot of fun ones on there, man.
It really is. It is, and you know it's a tough place for the visitors to come. There in Seattle, and that's part of the reason maybe why you're there is they saw you go in and win that game against them in a pretty tough late season moment. Both teams had to have it, so that could be it.
Yeah. No, this crowd's unbelievable too. Like the fans here, every time I come play here, it's an unbelievable atmosphere. So to be able to finally be on the right side of that is going to be great.
Excellent.
So.
You've gotten a free meal yet? Walking in a spot, Sam?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
No,
we got to work on it.
That's unfortunate.
Oh no, we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. We'll help.
No,
we'll
I don't need Rich, I don't need a free meal, man. I'm good.
I guess that's the media guy in me. Free stuff is always great. I mean, I'll take it.
Oh, it is great, but I'm not going to be like, hey, what are you guys doing here? Like you guys play quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. Like I should be getting a free meal. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, that's not on brand for you. I agree.
That's probably, do you do that quite a bit?
All the time. I pull the do you know who I am thing and then pay for my own parking. It doesn't work. It's kind of crazy. Here in Los Angeles, you pay for your own parking, and you're really digging in.
Yeah, you gotta get it validated. Okay. Gotta get it validated.
Thank you, Sam. I will write that down. Appreciate it. Take care of yourself. Let's do it again soon. Thanks again, man.
Yeah, awesome, Rich. Appreciate it.
Sam Darnold, everybody, the Seattle Seahawks here on the Rich Eisen Show. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.